Okay, let's see how to use a database in Python with SQLite. So first of all, let's see how to create a database. So let's import sqlite3 as lite. Okay, to open a database, you just do con equal lite.connect. So you use connect and you call this database 01.db, and then don't forget to close it, and let's also print con to see what this is. Okay, so we save it and you see that it's a connection object memorized in the RAM, and that's all. If you want to see it, you will see that this db01 is this one. So it's here and it's 0 kilobyte because there is nothing into it. So now let's see how to create a table. Because in the table we will put data and we get to build a table with certain fields. So you can see here how to create it. First of all, we get to create a cursor object so that we can start doing things with the database. We can do it also later, and then we're gonna do, for example, let's do command. Let's write here the type of command that you have to execute. So in the execute SQL, you're gonna create table this way. Create table if not exists, and then you get to put the name of the table. So table name, let's do it profile. Okay, now let's execute the code. Execute. So we get to execute. Let's use the format string, and we're gonna do command that is create table if not exist, and then table name. Okay, so this should do the work, the job, and then you commit your changes to the database and then you close it. Okay, if you watch to this file db01, this one, you will see that it has 0 bytes. Now let's run this and let's create the table, and we need also the fields for this table, so let's call them fields. So the fields that we will use for the data that we want to into this, we are going to use ed and in the integer that will use numbers, and this will be the primary key. Then put a comma, and then we get the name, that it's a text, and the surname, that it's also a text. So we're gonna put a command, create table, in this case profile, and then with these fields that will be into parentheses. Okay, now let's run this code and see what happens. Okay, we get the name of the connection, and let's open the folder where we have this. This is db01db, and let's see now that this is 8 kilobytes and it occupies 128 kilobytes. Instead, before it was 0 byte. So this means that we have created our table. Okay, now we want to not only create a table, but we want to insert data into it. So we can put this into a function, and we will not use it because we have created yet the table. Now what we want to do is to insert some data into it. Okay, let's add some data. So we know that we have an ID, a name, and a surname. So we will create a tuple with name and surname, and then let's put another name. Okay, and so just two name. Now we are going to put our cursor here, and then for the in data, for every data, we are going to execute our code that consists into our command. It's insert into so we will execute this code that it's made of command insert into, then it's the table name, that it's profile, and then we need our fields, that is ID, name, and surname, and then we need the values, that is so table name, parentheses, and here we get to put fields, and then values, and into items, it's equal name, surname, into apostrophes. Okay, and so this should insert all the data into our table, and then we commit it, and let's see if there is some, yeah, so name and surname is equal D because it's in this tuple here. There is one parenthesis. Okay, we need then also a n here, the number of the row, so we enumerate the list of data. Okay, now everything should be all right. Let me check out our database. It's always 8 kilobytes. Now let's check if we inserted this one into the table. So we have done this. So let's call this one insert data. And now we want to show the data that we have just put inside. So we're going to do with our cursor here. Then we're going to do code.execute from select everything from profile. Okay. If we want, we can also call this table name. That is profile. So once we selected everything, we are going to do get all the rows equal core dot fetch all to get the null, and for r in rows, let's print r. And so there we have our thing here. Let's see what will happen here if we do not select everything. So that's how you can show them all. If you want, you can create a function also for this, show data, and so on. So now you get your functions to create a table, insert data, and show the data. So that's how basically you can create a table and insert that data into a table in a database in SQLite. And in the next video, we will see how to create a graphic user interface like this to view the data, interview a query where you want something in the data specifically, and we will see this in the next video. Thank you and see you soon.